He's kinda cheap and people think he's a freak. It's the Frugal Freak Podcast.
I'm Bradley, and welcome to the Frugal Freak Podcast, where I am considered a freak in society because I would rather save the money that I make than spend it. I would rather be able to pay my bills than have labubus. And also, I just am not stupid. Hey, welcome to the podcast, or welcome back to the podcast. You know, I don't always make good decisions, and deciding to film this as the sun is setting could have been a good decision if I did it like an hour ago, but I probably don't have a lot of time left with the sun. So this might be a quicker episode. Maybe I'm going to scrap all of this and just film it tomorrow, but I also don't have a lot of time. All right, TMI that you guys don't care about. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing good. Sorry, I'm so distracted on my phone. I just posted a TikTok, but also I always put talking points on my phone. I'm such like an unprofessional podcaster. This is so ridiculous. Anyways, hi. Okay, here I am. I'm focused and I'm ready. So anyways, well, I always want to start my videos just by thanking you guys and just thank you for all your love and support. It means so much to me. I have so much fun here. The podcast is like a diary, which is really fun because obviously my TikTok is a diary, but you can only say so much in like a 1 to 2 minute video. And this is so nice. I get to just chill here. This is such a Lana Del Rey moment. Like, the sun is setting. There's a chill breeze. I'm loving it. There's an airplane above my head. I mean, Lana Del Rey probably sings about this in some song. So this is great. I wanted to shout out a couple people because there was 2 girls. I wish I wrote down your username before I filmed this, but there was like 2 girls in the last episode I posted who said, I think it was because I was talking about losing my hair, and they were like, oh my God, I literally thought you were like 25 years old. Someone complimented me with that comment every day. I would probably be happier. But anyways, I do try to look as young as possible. Maybe I could talk about skincare one day. It's not on the agenda for today's video. I'll give you the really quick version. Wear sunscreen and don't move your face. I know that sounds crazy, but you guys know I'm chock full of crazy things at work. So just don't move your face. But I also got a really nice message from a girl on Instagram, and I think her name was Lauren. Love when people reach out to me and you share your like really personal stories with me and how my content helps you or helps you feel like you're not alone. People always want to be internet famous for like the money or the attention or whatever it is, but like I was literally making YouTube videos in high school when I was a teenager because I felt so alone in my life, and I just wanted to help other people not feel the way I felt, especially with my student loan situation, because that was the ultimate. Like, I felt so alone. I felt like no one related to me. I felt like no one was in a situation I was in, and I don't know. It means a lot to me when I get your messages and you guys say my content helps you, or you save so much money now because you watch me, whatever it is. So she just said such a sweet comment, and I just love you guys. So I always like to say that. So thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for leaving a comment, as I really enjoy connection. And I think that's part of why I do social media, is just because I've been so hungry for connection. And I think because I've done so much of my life on my own. And anyways, oh my God, I'm like totally trauma dumping. Can we talk so quickly about court cases and what is it called? Like true crime? Is that what it's like classified under? I am so fascinated with true crime, and I was not like a year ago. But so I watch, obviously I live on YouTube because that's where I get all my entertainment, because you guys know I don't do any of like the subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, whatever. So I only entertain myself on YouTube. Like, that is the sponsorship of a lifetime, but I'm just little me and YouTube is big YouTube and they don't need me. But anyway, so I, every now and then on YouTube, on my homepage, it'll show like a live court case. I'll just click on it and watch it and just kind of learn what it's about. I love it. In another life, I probably should have been a lawyer. And it honestly makes me really sad because I went into as much student loan debt to learn how to make cookie dough and cake that a lawyer does. So like I could have been a lawyer with the amount of money I went into student debt for, which really upsets me. But oh my God. And I'm sure being a lawyer is not cracked up at all to what it sounds like it could be. So I hope I don't come off as naive saying this, but I do feel like I'd be a really good lawyer because of my OCD and my survival mode and being so tuned into every fine detail and being so hyper focused on things, I feel like I could be the best lawyer. Because I would pick up on every little thing and be like, oh, you said on this day you were doing this, but on this same day at this time you were doing that. You're guilty. I just feel like I'd be the best lawyer. So in another life, I don't think I could ever go back to school at this point in my life. Obviously I could afford to go back to school, which I'm so grateful to say, but I just feel like after everything I've gone through with college and student loans and like what it took to get my life to where I am today, I don't know if I ever want to do school again. Maybe like a certificate. All right, I'm rambling. But anyway, so I live in Connecticut, and we had a pretty big court case recently. And I don't know if you guys saw it. And I'm not going to like go into it. But basically, it was about these like rich high schoolers, which is like the epitome of who I want it to be. And if you guys watch me on my TikTok lives, I feel like I talk about that a lot. Like, I wanted to be the rich kid in high school so bad. And it was never for the stuff. It was really just because of the idea of being the rich kid. Like, you maybe have problems in your life, but money's not one of them. Because I had a lot of problems in my life in my childhood, and money was one of the biggest ones. So I always am so infatuated with like, infatuated? Did I just say that? I'm always so infatuated with like rich kids. Like, they are the epitome of everything I wanted to be. And I guess like I'm the rich kid now, but at 32 years old. So it's, at least it happened, but I wish it happened like when I was a teenager. So whatever. Anyway, so it was like all these kids from like a rich town. Well, it was a very divided case. I am so fascinated by how people think. I'm so fascinated by like choices people make. And this is like, especially when it comes to money, I'm so fascinated by how people think about money, spend money, respect money, value money, all of that. Like, I wish I could interview like a million people and like write a book about it. But I love watching these court cases and just learning about like, what did they do? How did they think they were going to get away with it? What was the reason behind why they did it? Oh my God, I love it so much. So, you guys will, if you watch me on TikTok, you will see this before I post this video. So I could say this now in the video before I give away the surprise. I bought the Coldplay tickets. If you know, you know, because I think it was 2 episodes ago, I said, if you watch the video to the end, say, I hope you get the Coldplay tickets, because I was planning a surprise for my mom to get Coldplay tickets to go see them. I ended up buying the tickets. I got some of the cheapest tickets that were available, and I still ended up spending like $630. Oh my God. So let's see, I'm filming this today on Sunday and the show is on Wednesday. So by the time you see this episode, I went to the show. I am sure it's going to be so phenomenal. To be completely honest, I don't even really know that much about Coldplay. I definitely know a handful of songs, and I feel like most of their songs make me want to cry. So I actually feel like I'm probably going to cry a lot during the concert. I'm always an emotional person, if you haven't noticed, but I don't even know if my mom really knows a lot about Coldplay. My mom gets so hyper fixated on like one thing, and then she'll say she like loves it, or she wants to go see it, or she wants to go whatever. And I will say though, my mom and I have like, if you guys know the song by Coldplay, Viva La Vida, it came out in 2010, which was when I was in high school. I was a senior in high school. And for some reason, that song has a chokehold on me and my mom. Like, it must have been playing nonstop when I was a senior in high school, but like every time my mom and I hear Viva La Vida and we're together in the car, like it always makes us kind of emotional. And I think it just reminds us of such a simpler time in life. And not even like I would say that time was really simple, because there was a lot of chaos going on in my home at that time. But you just think about, it was 15 years ago. Both of us were younger, and I always wish we could like go back to that time. I'll always wish. Kind of emotional today. I had a bad day today, if I'm being honest with you. Something happened. I think a lot of my like connection to the past is like just wishing I could shake myself and be like, Bradley, you're about to make a decision that completely destroys your life and changes the trajectory of your life. Like, please don't make this one decision. And so I think when I hear Viva La Vida, it brings me back to that time. I'll always miss the time in my life before like money ruined everything. And like money was not good in my childhood. And it's not that there was a lack of money. It was that there was a misuse of money and there was abuse of money. and overconsumption and all that, but it wasn't my relationship with money. It's like just what I saw around me, but it wasn't my personal relationship with money. And then obviously everything completely changed after I went to school, as I know that person before school is not the same person who came out of school. And oh my God, I didn't expect to cry. What's wrong with me? I'll just always miss who I used to be. That's it. Like, I will always miss who I used to be, and I know that person's never coming back. And it makes me really sad. This was not expected. What is with me with crying? See, this is why I like the podcast, because it just feels like a diary where I could just sit here and let it all out. So thank you. I appreciate you guys listening. So stay tuned on TikTok, because you probably are going to see the Coldplay concert videos. And I'm sure when Viva La Vida plays, I'm going to sob like a baby, just because there's just so much meaning behind it to me. So random. I am not kidding you. I have found like $5 on the ground in the past, like ever since July happened. I don't know what is in the water. I don't know what the universe is. I think the universe, can we do a money manifestation for like 30 seconds? I allow money to flow into my life. I allow money to come to me. I don't know. I want money to come to my budget baddies because they deserve financial stability. But so I actually was walking around here. It was like maybe a week and a half ago, and I found $4 on the ground. Who does that? Oh my God, you never find dollar bills on the ground. Randomly, I've been finding quarters. I know you guys probably think I know people probably think I'm crazy. Obviously, I don't care, whatever. Actually, oh my God, I went out 2 nights ago to the nightclub with my friend, and there was $1 on the ground, and I had a split second of like, oh, I'm going to be so embarrassed of people watching me like lunge for it and pick it up. No one was picking it up. It's my dollar now. So, I mean, maybe I should have asked around and been like, did you drop $1? I don't know. Who's gonna know it was them or not, so whatever, I took it. So yeah, I'm up to like $6 of finding money on the ground. That is like a world record. So okay, before we get into today's topic, I think I'm entering the midlife crisis, and there's a lot going on. So I have had this idea for like probably 6 months now, and it's this idea that just always like nudges me from behind every now and then. So hear me out and tell me what you think. So you guys know I wanted to tell you, because the last video I posted was my getaway weekend, my travel weekend, and I talked about how I had a free place to stay in exchange for offering someone free pet care. And I've done it for like the past year. It's such a cool experience, and it's a great way to travel really cheap. I wanted to say in this video what I use in case you guys may be interested in using it, and I got a coupon code or a discount code, whatever. Once, stupid influencer life. I'll put my affiliate link in the description of the video, and then I'll put my code. I think it's like Bradley20 or Bradley25. I'll put it on the screen here, but it's a great way to be able to travel but make it very affordable, because in my opinion, I feel like the place you stay is what makes your travel really expensive. Anyway, so the midlife crisis, and I plan to use trusted house sitters to do this, which is why I wanted to tell you guys. My midlife crisis, I know I'm like knocking on the door of it. Just been having this feeling of like, I guess it feels like wanting to run away, but I love my life, so I don't feel like I want to run away from my life. I just feel like my life is so copy and paste. Oh my God, I think that's it. Do you relate to that feeling? I feel like so much of my life is copy and paste, day to day, same to same, the next thing to the next thing, predictable. And I will always say I will never regret everything I've done to get to where I am today, because everything I have today I did not have 10 years ago, and everything I dreamed of 10 years ago I have today. I'm just having this feeling of like, I need something more in my life, and I need to do it while I still have time. And my solution to that is quit my job and like travel through Europe for like 6 months or so, but using trusted house sitters, because it would allow me to have free places to stay. And if accommodations are one of the most expensive parts of traveling, it wouldn't be such an expensive experience. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like because I've worked so freaking hard and I've sacrificed so much and I've said no to so much, and like going to sleep with the AC off to keep my electric bill low, and not buying shoes so my shoes have holes in them and stuff like that. I just feel like this is finally going to be something for me, and it's going to be finally something I can do where I could like enjoy life. I could have adventure. I could go see the world. I can go live. I can live. I could spend 2 weeks in London, and I could spend 3 weeks in Italy, and I could go to France, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it. I feel like the only fear I have with that is not having a job when I come back. And then I tell myself, but Bradley, that's the entire problem. You're living for comfort and you're living for stability when you should be living to live. I don't know, but I'm also the type of person, I can go away for a weekend. You guys saw my last video was my weekend getaway. I could go away for literally 2.5 days and then I want to go home. Are you guys like that or what? Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can literally be somewhere new for 48 hours and I'm I want to go home. But the problem with that is that it's probably because I'm so in my comfort zone. I'm so in my routine. I'm so in my rhythm. I live a copy and paste life. And I don't even hate that because I do love everything in my life, but I just feel like I need a taste of something more. And I think what really started to bring up this feeling with me was me wanting to buy a house, because I kept having this feeling as I was looking for houses where I was like, oh my God, maybe I should have one last hurrah before I do this incredibly expensive decision of buying a house. That's what originally brought this feeling and this idea upon to me, where I was like, maybe I should just switch it the F up. Maybe I should just go for it. Maybe I should just do it and go live, go see the world, go do something way out of my comfort zone. And it's because of living frugal and having discipline and making my choices that have led me to be able to do something like this. So, I mean, I know there's people who backpack and travel and they don't have a lot of money. So, at least I'd be in a position where I could be very comfortable and not really have to worry about the financial piece to it. I don't know. So let me know what you think about it. Also, it's getting very dark. So we'll probably finish the episode tomorrow in my apartment in the sunshine, because I think it's getting too dark. Okay, and we're back. It's the next day for me to finish the podcast episode because it got too dark last night. Look at this lighting. Oh my God. I probably should have just filmed the whole episode in here, but that's okay. I enjoyed the portion that I filmed last night. And actually, to be honest, I filmed this entire next half of the podcast, but I don't have enough storage on my other phone. So I need to kind of make this quick, which is such a bummer because I feel like I had a really good discussion. Anyways, oh my God, TMI, you guys don't care. So why do I save my money? There is an emotional reason, and then there's a practical reason as to why I save my money. The practical reason, and I'm sure a lot of you know the story, but there's always new people joining the Budget Baddie family. So I ended up in $130,000 of student loan debt after going to culinary school, such a useless degree. And what made the situation worse was that it wasn't even paying off. I was getting job offers for $12 and $13, which was equated to less than $30,000 a year, with a student loan payment that was almost $900 a month. So I decided when I was 20 years old and I ended up in this situation, I was like, I need to do everything I can to make this better, and saving my money would make this problem better. I'm so glad at such a young age I realized why would I spend money when I don't have money, or even if I had money saved in my bank account or I'm getting a paycheck. Just because you have money coming in does not mean you are allowed to have money going out when you're in such a messed up financial situation. And yet so many people don't think like that. The fact should not be overlooked either that I do still have my student loan debt, which I think currently is sitting at $147,000. So that's another reason why I save money, because even though I do qualify for the public servant loan forgiveness program, and I am about 2 years away from it being forgiven and completed through the process, none of that is guaranteed. And I know you all have probably seen there's been so many changes done to the Department of Education and 2 student loan systems and whatnot. So the day that I found out I had the same amount of money saved as the amount of student loan debt I have, like literally was one of the best days of my life. Like I swear to God, I feel like I remember the moment of my body just feeling like chills. Like my body went into like shock because it was a moment that for so many years I thought would never, ever, ever happen to me. Making sacrifices, being so unbelievably focused, like working my butt off. It happened. And finding out my loans qualify for the student loan forgiveness program, which I didn't know up until about 2 to 2.5 years ago, I think. Like that was the original plan. That always was the original plan. I'm going to save. Actually, no, the original plan was just save every dollar I can because the debt will never go away. But as long as I had money saved, it would allow me to feel safe and secure and comfortable and be prepared for an emergency. That was the original plan. But then when I got to the point where I was able to have enough money saved to pay off the debt, my plan was always going to be like I would just make really big chunks towards the student loans for them to be paid off in like 2 years' time. Because I don't think my heart can physically handle watching so much money like leave my account after it took almost 12 years to build up what I have. And then about 2 years ago, finding out the loans qualify for the public servant loan forgiveness program, I was like, oh, wow, maybe let me ride this through and see if the loans actually get forgiven, which would be plan A. And plan B, if plan A falls through, is that I will make big payments towards paying them off. It's a great example because just because they qualify for the forgiveness program, I haven't changed my lifestyle at all. I didn't start like going crazy with money. I didn't start buying all this bougie stuff and like living this big lifestyle because, oh, they're going to be forgiven. Like even finding that out, nothing changed in my life. My life was no different the next day after finding it out. I just was at more peace of mind and it did improve my mental health a lot, I would say. But I didn't change my lifestyle at all after finding out the loans will qualify for forgiveness. Then the emotional piece to why do I save my money is just because I love to have it. Like I actually get so confused why people are confused why I love to save my money. But I love that it's like my most asked question, like why do you save your money? Because I feel like it really highlights the theory that I have that so much of society is brainwashed by overconsumption and consumerism and social media influencer culture of, you know, buying what other people have or being easily influenced to buy things that they see. Of course, people aren't going to understand why I love saving money or why I'm so obsessed with saving money when you only see money as something to spend. I'm literally the opposite of whatever a shopping addict is. Like I'm a saving addict. Like I do actually genuinely feel like I am addicted to saving money. I might have talked about this in another episode, but like it's really hard for me to want to live any different. I'm almost at the 12-year anniversary of graduating college. That's crazy. I didn't even just realize that. It has really morphed my brain and it's morphed the way I look at money and the way I look at spending. People are so shocked or they're so fascinated by how I live my life, and my life feels so normal to me because it's all I've known for about almost 12 years now. Whenever someone asks like, why do you save your money? I always just think of this analogy. So I'm going to ask you this. Like if someone gave you $100,000 today, like $100,000 showed up in your account, how would it make you feel? And your answer is probably the answer to why I love to save money and why I love to have money. It would change your life. $100,000 would change anyone's life. We all know that. That's a pure fact. You'd be able to pay off debt. You'd be able to catch up on things. You'd be able to finally have money saved for the first time in your life for some people. I love to save money for all the feelings it gives me. Like it's probably literally the exact same feeling like a shopping addict gets. Like the high that you get or the rush that you get from buying something or spending your money is the same exact rush I get from saving my money. Every time people are confused by why I like to save my money, I always just want to ask, like, when has life ever been worse with more money? Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously. And I think it's really interesting because I have lived on the extreme of both sides of the coin, like being in 6 figures of debt, not making a lot of money, and now having like hundreds of thousands of dollars saved, and my income is like the biggest it's ever been. Like I swear to God, I think about this often. I swear to God, I am an experiment. I swear I'm a social experiment. Like, I swear the universe was like, we're going to destroy this kid's life and we're going to make sure he is like ruined by finances. And then 10 years later, his life is going to be 100% different. Let's see how this goes. Like, I swear I'm a social experiment, because for my life to have been 100% different financially 10 years ago to how it is today, I think everyone would handle it kind of differently. I feel like it could always go two ways. It could go my way, where you kind of become like a financial hoarder and you save every single dollar you can. But there's so many people who grew up financially struggling, and now that they have money, or they have a little money, or they're like, you know, they've increased their income, so many people don't know how to handle it, or they don't know what to do with it. So then they end up spending everything, and they kind of just keep themselves in that broke or poor lifestyle, even when you have increased your income. I feel like a lot of people who have struggled with money, and then once you get money, there's this rush of like, oh my God, I can have everything I want, which I didn't have growing up. And for me, it's like the complete opposite. Now that I have like the most money I've ever had in my life, I feel like, oh my God, I want to do everything I can to never go back to the life I used to live, which creates this desire to save all of my money. I just love having money. And I think it's so shocking to people, because so many people in our culture only see money as something to spend. Why make money if you're not going to spend it? Well, what's the point of going to work then? Why go to work to make money if you're just going to keep ending up broke because of the choices you make? Like, I could ask you the same thing. Why don't you just not go to work because you keep keeping yourself in a position where you have no money? So anyways, it's so fascinating how people are so confused why I save my money. And again, it really highlights like the brainwash of society and overconsumption, and thinking like happiness and joy and treating yourself is always buying something, always eating something. How is treating yourself putting you in a position where you have less money in your pocket, which then causes so many more problems of bills falling behind, not having an emergency fund, always feeling stressed, being bound to a job? Like, there's so many more issues when you have less money in life. That is the absolute truth. And we can say that without being shallow. Like, money is such an important thing. That's the truth. And that's why I choose to save it, because it's so important. And money is so connected to almost every aspect of our life. Oh my God, this is what I'm trying to say. I just get such a rush knowing I have the money I have. Like, I just love to have it. I get so many comments on my TikTok videos being like, this is such a low quality of life. Like, I would never want to live this way, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I wish people realized it's the feeling that having the money gives me is what I define as a high quality life. It's not the things I have. It's not the stuff that surrounds me. It's the feeling I get. It's the security I have. It's the options I have. It's the freedom that I have. It was when I was in my really bad financial situation 10 years ago that it really taught me the value of money. And I taught myself at a young age in my early 20s, I said, money is not a thing for what can it get me, it's what can it give me. And I know I've said that quote before, so I know, but it's my favorite quote because it's so true. Money is not about what can it get you. It's about all the things money gives you. And I wish so many people realize that. There are millionaires who live frugal. There's people who make a lot of money who live paycheck to paycheck. I've heard the stories. Don't you dare tell me that's not true. I have heard the stories. And this is why money matters. This is why money's important. And this is why it's important to save your money, because it just adds to a whole quality of life. You know, I had a back injury for 3 years. I don't know why this is popping up. I had a back injury in my early 20s. It was from the food industry. And I dealt with it for 3 years because money was tight. I didn't have just unlimited funds where I could pay for back surgery and then afford to miss work for 3 to 4 months for recovery. I didn't have the money. Do you see what I mean? Like, this is why I save my money, because it provides me a quality of life. I know I'm in the minority to say this. I don't feel like the stuff that surrounds me defines my quality of life. Just because my towel has a hole in it doesn't define the quality of life I live. The dryer mat on my countertop that dries off my washed dishes, just because it's stained and like 6 years old, I don't feel like that defines what my quality of life is. I always make this joke that like in the next lifetime, people will look back on my videos and be like, oh my God, he was so right. He was so ahead of his time. But in this current day and age and in this society we live in, I am just considered an absolute nutbag because I would rather save the money that I work so hard for rather than constantly spending it, constantly having more, and then being left with nothing. I want to make a t-shirt that just says, save your money and shut up. You know what I mean? And that is my new motto. So if you made it to the end of the video, comment, save your money and shut up, because it's so true. Like, stop complaining about having to save money. Like, saving money is going to improve your quality of life. And it's like, as a financial coach, I see it all the time. These people come into me who have made bad financial choices, and after working with me and starting to save money, I'm literally seeing a change in who they are, and they're improving. And they feel so much happier. They feel so much more hopeful because they've learned to make better choices and start saving your money. People have to stop seeing saving money as a punishment. Okay, so comment that if you made it to the end of the video. And I need to make a t-shirt one day that says like, just save your money and shut up. Or God forbid you have money saved in your bank account. What a travesty that is. So anyways, I think I'll have to end it there. I wish I could talk a lot more, but yeah, space on the iPhone is always a problem with someone who does content creating. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for your love and support. It means so much to me. I always wish I could meet every single one of you, because every time I do meet you guys, it's just like the nicest experience. I love it so much, and you guys mean the world to me. So anyways, okay, I will go, and I'll see you at the next episode. And I hope this was helpful, because I always want my content to be helpful or entertaining or whatever. I swear to God, I got one comment the other day that was like, I listen to you before I go to sleep because like you talk relax. Like, first of all, I feel like my voice is so obnoxious and it's so like nasally and annoying. So for someone to be like, I listen to you before I go to bed because you're calming, that's shocking to me. So anyways, oh my God, I need to shut up. All right. Love you guys. Bye.